if you're a DV Lottery 2020 winner, you're in big trouble right now. And the reason is because of the government's recent proclamation to suspend entry of certain non-immigrant visas, as well as extending the April proclamation that specifically prevents DV Lottery winners from entering the US, is going to cause some serious delays and possibly eliminating the opportunity for DV Lottery winners to obtain their green cards. In this video, we'll talk about a few options available for DV Lottery winners that are currently stuck overseas and what I think is going to happen in the future before the deadline of September 30th. So watch this video and I'll see you on the other side. So in this video, we'll talk about specifically the impact of the recent proclamation issued by President Trump, specifically suspending non-immigrant visas, but also extending the previous proclamation from April. In that proclamation, there was a specific bar for 60 days entry for DV visa lottery winners. And we're going to talk in this video about the impact of those specifically that are waiting overseas, that did not have an interview yet, and the impact of not being able to complete the process before September 30th, which is the deadline, September 30th, 2020, which is the deadline to complete the program and be able to get an actual interview and a visa and their passport. So this particular proclamation has been very bad news for DV lottery winners, because who anticipated that the ban is going to last only for 60 days and hopefully we're not going to get an extension. Well, this didn't happen. This recent proclamation extended the ban. So I wanted to talk about some options in terms of lawsuits, what's happening currently, and what could happen if the process is not going to be completed. Before we dive into the video, if you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe to our channel, click that bell to be notified. We release videos every single week, and also click that like so that YouTube can share this video with people that are interested in this information. For those of you who are here again for the first time and don't know me, my name is Jacob Sapochnick, and I'm an immigration attorney based in San Diego, California, and we represent clients in all 50 states, and we're excited to bring this information to you every single week, and especially the DV lottery options and solutions, because I know it's been a topic of concern to many of you based on the comments and the emails that we've been receiving. So let's dive in right away. So let's talk about the current state of events. So as we know that the June proclamation was issued, specifically barring the entry of certain non-immigrant visas, specifically H, L, H2B, and J, and we had another video that we specifically explained that. But also what's specifically pertaining to the lottery winners is that they extended the previous proclamation, which bars the entry of lottery winners for at least 60 days. Now it's going to be extended through the end of the year. Now remember that before this proclamation, we already have a travel ban for certain countries that already cannot enter the US because where they're from, and quite a few DV lottery winners were there as well. So that's one thing that's going on. And then we have the April proclamation that suspended the entry of DV visa lottery winners for 60 days, and now this recent one extended until the end of the year. And so there's currently a lawsuit, class action lawsuit, that is being filed by the American Immigration Lawyers Association. That was filed at the end of May, and the idea behind it is to try to get some sort of an injunction to stop the proclamation and to allow people that are currently stuck overseas to be able to come to the US and basically force the consulates to take DV visa lottery winners for appointments and other issues. So it's not specifically for DV lottery winners, the lawsuit, but it definitely will help if they're going to be able to get an injunction, because it's going to be able to force the consulates to take appointments. And of course, DV visa lottery need that to be able to get their visas in their passports before September 30th. So we've got that going on. And people are asking whether they should be coming together to file more lawsuits, whether they should do it individually. Again, there are different schools of thoughts. Obviously, class actions are definitely more effective, because when people join in a class action, they have more leverage to be able to force the government to act on what they're supposed to be acting. However, there's another way for individuals to file a lawsuit called mandamus, essentially forcing the government to act, and in this case issue a visa or do something that will stop the case from being delayed. So let's talk a little bit about the mandamus process. So if a DV lottery, either individual or a group of people who come together, for example, there's quite a few attorneys who organize a few groups of plaintiffs, specifically DV lottery winners that are being impacted or are worried that they're not going to be able to finish the process. They come together and join on a mandamus lawsuit. So what essentially a mandamus lawsuit will do to help DV lottery winners to not miss on their opportunity to get a visa. So there's a few things that it can do. Number one, before we look at a mandamus lawsuit, we're looking at a few things that we need to have to be able to file a successful lawsuit. So let's look at the first thing. The government has unreasonably delayed processing visa applications for 2020 DV lottery winners. That's number one. And we can prove that because this proclamation is illegal, it's unreasonable, and we've seen already lawsuits in the past that were able to get injunctions against similar executive orders. So it's not unreasonable to say that what the government have done currently is unreasonable. So that's number one. If we go into the US legislation, the law specifically says the following. 5 USC 55B, a government agency has a non-discretionary duty to conclude a matter presented to it within a reasonable time. So again, typically in DV lottery cases, people who are overseas by now should already have their appointments. And what's happening right now under this proclamation is an unreasonable delay, and therefore it could be a ground for a mandamus. Let's look at another factor. President Trump's current proclamation and the previous ones from April suspending DV lottery from entering the US for 60 days. The current proclamation from June, as well as the one from April, both proclamations arbitrarily prohibit the issuance of visas for DV lottery winners. That's clear. If it wasn't for the first proclamation, suspending it for 60 days, and this one extending until the end of the year, DV lottery winners will be getting their visas. So it's clearly preventing them from getting those visas. What does the law say? The law prohibits federal agency action that is arbitrary, capricious, and abuse of discretion or otherwise not in accordance with the law, or is conducted without observance of procedure required by law. Once again, this proclamation is clearly outside of the scope of the law. It's arbitrary, it's capricious, it was proven before, and it can be proven again. And therefore, it's another very good factor for a mandamus case if brought against the government in a DV lottery lawsuit. So if you look at what a mandamus is a judicial writ. It's almost an order to force the government to perform its duty, right? It's not forcing the government to do something illegal. It's forcing the government to do something that it's its duty. And in this case, the government has a discretionary duty to adjudicate DV visa lottery winners 2020 before the deadline, which is September 30th, 2020. So in this case, essentially, the government, by extending the proclamation until December, it's prohibiting DV visa lottery winners to complete their process by their deadline, and therefore they have to be forced to do it because what they do is illegal. Mandamus lawsuits, especially in DV lottery cases, is not something new. This happened probably in the past 10 years quite a few times by individuals, but also by groups that came together. There's a case of an individual a couple of years ago that filed a mandamus because of a severe delay of background checks at the US Embassy, and he brought a lawsuit. He filed a mandamus, and he was able to get his visas issued before the September 30th deadline because he knew that if he wouldn't do it, it was not going to happen. So it's something that definitely is effective. And I think that, again, aside from the fact that, remember, we have the litigation that is going on right now by the American Immigration Lawyers Association, it's a very powerful lawsuit that has a lot of good points in it that hopefully we'll be able to get an injunction. But at the same time, we don't know, how fast that's going to work. We don't know what's going to happen. Again, things change every day. But it's really important to know that DV lottery winners that specifically are stuck overseas really don't have too many options. If visas are not going to be completed by September 30th, there is no way that they're going to be able to get the green cards. And in fact, if you think about it, it goes back to a couple of years back when President Trump specifically said that he does not like the DV lottery program, that he thinks that it's a faulty system and it should be eliminated. And in a way, what he's doing right now is a backdoor slam on closing the program without getting approval from the Congress or getting a legal right to stop the DV lottery program, right? It's illegal. This is a program that we need in the US. This is a program that we had it for many, many decades, specifically to create diversity. That's what it is, to create diversity in our nation, to make sure that we are going to be continuing to be a country of immigrants. And so again, I know the stress is up there. And once again, those of you that are watching this video right now for the first time, make sure to subscribe to our channel, because I will be doing an update on this, because I know that people are anxious. And also join our Facebook group. There's a link in this video, in the description of the video, for our group, so you can continue to get updates and continue to discuss about options that we may have. But remember, if you are considering filing a mandamus lawsuit, it's something to maybe consult an attorney to see if it's right for you. There are quite a few groups that are forming right now, trying to get a mandamus filed on behalf of DV lottery. Some people are doing it on their own. It's better to do something than just wait. I believe in that as well, or at least get information. You don't have to necessarily go for a lawsuit right away, but at least be involved in groups, talk to others, see what's going on, be in touch with the consulate, and of course, like I said, as long as the proclamation is in effect, they won't see DV lottery for interviews, and they're going to be probably just stuck over there, waiting for something to happen. Those of you that are inside the U.S., should not be impacted by this proclamation. The only thing that we do have a lot of delays right now inside the U.S. I'm going to say one thing, that make sure you put a lot of pressure on your local USCIS office. Try to get an appointment to speak to an officer as they're reopening, to make sure that they know that you're a DV lottery case and you have priority, because the deadline is September 30th. So once again, hopefully this information was helpful. Just kind of a little bit explaining the DV lottery crisis right now, a little bit about the mandamus and why it's important to try it, and pretty much that if an injunction is not going to happen, I'm really concerned that DV lottery winners are going to lose out this year and not get the green cards. But let's see what happens. I'll keep you posted. I'll keep you updated. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in our next video.